Hare Krishna. Today we will discuss between chapter number 18:21 to 32. This is 29th verse. Start with 27. Ragi karma phala prepsur lubdho himsatmako shuchi harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikititaha. The worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. Okay, so we are going to see different types of workers. So, work in different three modes of material nature and the worker in the three modes of material nature. So, here we are seeing the worker in the three modes of material nature. So, here you can see Kami, Ragi Karma Phala Prepsur. Okay, these are very important verses. Uh, what it basically means is that a person who is in the mode of passion, okay, worker who is in the mode of passion, by definition, he is like very attached to work. So this is one of the typical characteristic of a person who is in the mode of passion. He's attached to the activity itself or the fruit. So we see that there's some people who are very, very attached to their activity. Okay. So the activities we are not supposed to be very much attached to. Okay. We should work it in a with a kind of a detachment. Okay. And being attached to the fruits of work is also a negative thing. It's not a positive thing. Okay. We'll see this. And it says himsatmakaha, and who is lubda, greedy, and always wanting to enjoy these fruits. So whatever work that he is doing, he's attached to the activities results, and he wants to enjoy it, and envious of others. Harsha Shoka. Harsha Shoka is also one characteristic that we have to note here. Shoka is a negative characteristic. Okay. It is a materialistic characteristic. So there is no Shoka in spiritual world. There is only bliss, Ananda in the spiritual world. So in spiritual life, there is no Shoka. There is only Ananda. So being always getting moved by joy and sorrow, becoming too happy with one's work, or becoming too sad about one's own work. This is the characteristic of a person who is in the mode of goodness, passion, mode of passion. Right? Rajasa, Rajasa Parikitita. Next one. Ayukta Prakrita Stabdaha, Shato Naiskrito Alasaha, Vishadi Dirga Sutricha, Karta Tamasa Uchate. First one is Ayuktaha, the worker who is engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture. The person who is in the mode of ignorance does not believe in the scriptures. Right? So this is one of the symptoms of mode of ignorance. Prakritaha. Prakritaha means materialistic, does not have spiritual vision. Stabdaha, obstinate. Shata means cheat. Naiskriti, alatsaha, lazy, procrastinating. Vishadi, dirgha sutricha, alasaha, vishadi, dirgha sutri. These are all, which means that, somebody who is very lazy, morose, and procrastinating. So these are the characteristics of a person who is in the mode of ignorance. Worker in the mode of ignorance. Let's see the next one. Buddhir bedham dhrites chaiva gunatas shrunu prochyamanam asheshena prutatvena dhananjaya. O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature. Now Krishna is going to talk about buddhi and dhriti. Buddhi means intelligence or understanding. Dhriti means determination. So Krishna is saying he's going to now talk about buddhi and dhriti in the three modes of material nature. So far we have seen worker in the three modes of material nature. And now we'll see buddhi and dhriti. Okay, now let us see this buddhi in three modes of material nature. That is intelligence in three modes of material nature. Intelligence in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So let's start with intelligence in the mode of goodness. प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. See, a person who is in the mode of goodness has the intelligence which is in the mode of goodness. And how do you recognize whether such a person has an intelligence which is in the mode of goodness? Is like by this. That person exactly knows pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means what is supposed to be done. Nivritti means what is not supposed to be done. What is not supposed to be done. For example, somebody has any disease, they take a medicine and they avoid certain kind of foods. Right? That's nivritti. Pravritti means doing the positive action. Nivritti means doing the negative action. Now here, how do you decide what is pravritti and what is nivritti? It is not decided whimsically. It is decided by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. It is decided by the Shastras and the Guru and Sadhu. Guru is the spiritual master. Sadhu is the devotee. So the devotee follows it and the Guru tells it as an injection that this is supposed to be done. And a person who has intelligence in the mode of goodness immediately does it. That is pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. And this person, he knows what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done. What is supposed to be done? We are supposed to take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are not supposed to be non-devotional. That is nivritti. We should know this. Karya, akarya, what should be done? We should immediately do devotional service. We should not postpone devotional service. Akarya, what is not supposed to be done? Ignoring Krishna consciousness is not supposed to be done. Bhaya, abhaya, what is supposed to be feared? We should fear that I will not have sufficient time to do Krishna consciousness. We should fear that I may get an animal body if I'm not going to do Krishna consciousness. That is the correct fear. What is not to be feared? We should not fear about doing Krishna consciousness. We should not have any kind of fear that, okay, if I'm going to do Krishna consciousness, this is going to cause me some harm or my life may be disturbed. This is not supposed to be done. This is not supposed to be feared. It's just like the snake and the rope. A person who's in the mode of ignorance confuses the snake to the rope. The rope appears to be the snake, snake appears to be the rope. The rope is meant to be helping. Snake is dangerous, but if it is dark, it appears opposite. But a mode of goodness person is able to clearly distinguish. Bandham moksham chaya veti. Mode of goodness person is very clearly having a knowledge, conception about what is binding, what is liberating. What is material activity? What is spiritual activity? So spiritual activity, Krishna conscious activity must be done. Okay. That is this 18.30, very important verse. Next one, 18.31. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam eva cha ayatavat prajanati buddhissa partha rajasi. Asuna prita, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion. So the thing is, most of the people in Kali Yuga and most of the people in the world are actually in the mode of passion and ignorance. So that's the normal, the base or the default attribute or the nature of human beings is towards the mode of passion and ignorance. That's normal. But with Krishna consciousness, we rise to mode of goodness. And what is the proof that we have risen to the mode of goodness? When we start to understand what is religion, what is irreligion. But if we have some kind of confusion, we can't distinguish what is right and what is wrong, then that means that that person is in mode of passion, is not in mode of goodness. Because what is right and what is wrong is very clearly defined. Okay? Whatever the guru, whatever the sadhu, whatever the shastra says, it is right. And whatever the guru and whatever sadhu and shastra say you should not do is wrong. That is adharma. That's it. We should not try to decide what is dharma and what is adharma based on our sentiment. If we go by sentimental values, then it is mode of passion. A person who is in mode of passion cannot distinguish between dharma and adharma. Gets confused. Sometimes takes the side of adharma. Karyam cha akaryam eva. And between action and that has to be done, action that has not to be done. There are some actions which should not be done at any cost. Right? And there are some activities which must be done. Right? Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. We're supposed to be humble. We're supposed to approach the guru and surrender unto the guru. That is karyam. Cha akaryam. Not to be done. That is the action not to be done is not following the instructions of the spiritual master is akaryam. Not following what Krishna says is akarya. Right? And then, so a person who is in the mode of passion gets confused, doesn't understand what's the real religion. The real religion is Krishna consciousness. Right? So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained us that the real religion, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranito, is given by Krishna. And what's that religion? The real religion, dharma, is Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam cha Yadahutikam. That means it is the devotional service of Krishna. It is the Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radhokjaji Ahitukya Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. The real religion for all the living entities is that one engages in pure devotional service. Ahaitukya, unmotivated. This devotional service should not be having any kind of external motive. The only motive is, I want to go back to Godhead. I shall serve Krishna and I want to go back to Godhead. Ahaitukya, apratihata. There should not be any check. There should not be any hindrance or interruptions for our devotional service. Yayatma suprasidati. That makes us very, very blissful. Uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service. This is the topmost religion. Religion is not that by which we earn some money or we ask for some economic development. That's not real religion. Real religion is not apparent ritualistic activities. Real religion is to understand the position of Krishna. Undermining the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is irreligion. We should understand. If we cannot distinguish this, what is the real religion and what is irreligion, then we are in the mode of passion. What is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done, if we can't understand, then we are in mode of passion. Okay, let's see the next one. Adharmam dharmam iti ya manyate tamasavrita sarvarthan viparitamscha buddhi sa partha tamasi. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion, a religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, Partha is in the mode of ignorance. So our mind, our intelligence should not go to the wrong direction. But time and again, if a person is always getting attracted to the wrong direction, right? Considering irreligion to be religion, blaspheming the real religion, which is Krishna consciousness, and praising the irreligion, that is material consciousness. Material consciousness includes everything. Okay. So, for example, there are two types of services. Bhakti means service, devotional service. But in service also there are two categories of service. Okay. Service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and service to the human beings. So when you do service to human beings or to the, that is like, service to our own family, it is limited to our family. And service to the larger community and all kinds of altruistic services also, they're considered as material. They are not considered spiritual. But there are some people who try to project material as spiritual. But that is not accepted by the spiritual master or the Shastra. Is neither accepted by Guru, nor accepted by Sadhu, nor accepted by Shastra. Nowhere it is given like that, Only because there is some kind of pleasure that people derive by serving the community, larger community, or human beings or their family. That pleasure comes to an end as soon as a person dies. As soon as a person dies, all that pleasure comes to an end. That's the end of that pleasure. But the pleasure of serving Krishna is Amrita. It never dies. Even after death, it continues. The love of Godhead continues. This is Bhakti, Rasa, Amrita. That is real religion. So we should know what is real religion. The real religion is Krishna consciousness and not any other kind of secondary moral principles. That is not real religion. The primary moral principle is to surrender to Krishna. If a person surrenders to Krishna, then he is an honest person. If a person surrenders to Krishna, he is a truthful person. If a person doesn't surrender to Krishna, he is a dishonest person, he is untruthful. Apparently, he may think that I am very truthful, but no. Because he has rejected the real truth, he is a liar. Right? And he is not compassionate. Because he is not compassionate towards his own self. Because our soul has to suffer. Okay, it's dukkhalaya ashashvatam, and there is a lot of suffering already. Krishna is saying. And then if we do not have compassion towards our own self, that we should have compassion to our own self, that, oh, this soul is suffering so much. Let me do something to relieve the suffering. Let me become Krishna conscious. And let me end the suffering forever. Let me go back to God. That is real compassion. If somebody is not taking to Krishna consciousness, that means he is the killer of one's own self. Atmahantara. Envious of one's own self. You can be envious of others, but when you're envious of yourself, that's the worst thing, right? So somebody who's not Krishna conscious, who is not compassionate about themselves, that's the worst thing that can happen to anybody, right? You should feel like, okay, let me relieve this living entity, at least this lifetime. Let me go back to God. Already so much of suffering has happened over many lifetimes. Let me be compassionate. That is real religion. But then, person in the mode of ignorance confuses, at least mode of the passion has confusion. Sometimes he's on the right side, sometimes on the wrong side, sometimes on the right side, sometimes on the wrong side. But a person in the mode of ignorance always is on the wrong side, consistently on the wrong side, always considering irreligion to be religion, thinking that material consciousness is more important than Krishna consciousness, and staying away from Krishna consciousness, condemning Krishna consciousness. This is adharma, right? This is the asura. Asura is Hiranyakashipu, the materialistic demon that is under the spell of illusion and darkness, right? So this is supposed to be the buddhi in the mode of ignorance. So the correct thing to do is we must have 100% faith in the spiritual master. In the words of the spiritual master, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittete Koreho Aikya. If my Guru has said it, it is 100% true. I believe it. I have no doubt in it. This should be our faith. If Prabhupada said this, then I'm going to accept it. That's it. No questions asked. I will follow it. That is the correct kind of intelligence, correct kind of determination. We should not try to debate it, nor try to do anything against it. So whatever Prabhupada is saying, the instructions, the advices that he's giving in devotional service, there's so many do's and don'ts that Prabhupada wants us. He says, don't do this. He says, do this. Chant 16 rounds, right? And then don't do some things, right? There's some things that are not supposed to be done. We're supposed to take it very, very seriously, okay? But if we take the wrong direction, then that's adharma, okay? That's the mode of ignorance. All right, so that's what about Bhagavad Gita today. Anybody has any questions? Any questions? Hare Krishna. Yeah, okay. There's a question. Thank you. Could you please give examples for all of these modes of understanding? Yes, Mataji, for sure. So I'll tell you some examples like mode of ignorance, right? Hare Krishna. Mode of ignorance is the demons, they always take the mode of ignorance, just like Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was Krishna conscious all the time, 24/7 thinking about Krishna. Right? And he said, he declared that, this 9 ways of devotional service is the best of all the understanding, right? He's always chanting Hare Krishna. He's always thinking about Krishna. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, right? And Hiranyakashipu was against it. He says, Hiranyakashipu says, why are you wasting your time? Where is Krishna? We can't see him. Why are you doing all of this? Be materialistic. A pure materialistic person is Hiranyakashipu. That is adharma. Okay? That is the example. There is a mode of ignorance. Mode of passion is sometimes we see that there's some people who are in a little bit of confusion. Okay, can't decide what is right, what is wrong. Right? Just like Dhritarashtra. He's on the side of Duryodhana, and sometimes Vidura is coming and counseling him. Sometimes he feels that, okay, maybe this is wrong. And again, he goes back to normal. Okay, sometimes he's a little bit okay for some time. Vidura is counseling him, don't do it. Pandavas are very nice. They're very nice devotees of Lord Krishna. They're on the side of Krishna. So don't trouble them. He agrees with the principle to some extent. And then again, he's back to normal. Okay. So again, he's confused. Okay. It happens with a lot of times with us also. Okay. Because I can relate with it. Okay. The thing is, as long as we don't have 100% faith in the spiritual master and Krishna consciousness and the scriptures, okay? So it happens that sometimes he may vacillate between two stands that, okay, maybe this is correct, maybe this is wrong. This is correct, this is wrong. Sometimes it happens, okay? So that's mode of passion. So clarity is mode of goodness. So the mode of goodness, all the devotees, you can think of all the devotees, right? All the devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and the devotees like Pandavas, they're in the mode of goodness, right? Duryodhana is in the mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Duryodhana wants to, Dhritarashtra is attached to his work. He is attached to his throne. He wants that his son becomes the next king. He wants to enjoy that fruits, right? And then the Kauravas are envious, right, of the Pandavas always. All the time they are always, feeling joy or sorrow. Sometimes they're celebrating, sometimes they're crying, right? That's mode of passion, right? And then they're acting against the scriptures, right? The Kauravas, they're not supposed to be poisoning their cousins who are good people, right? But they're doing it, isn't it? So cheating people, expert in insulting, always insulting the Pandavas, they are in the mode of ignorance, right? And Pandavas, they are in the mode of goodness. They know what is supposed to be done, what is not supposed to be done. They are always on the right side, right? They're always on the side of Krishna. And they know what to be feared, what is not to be feared. Their biggest fear is that they will lose the company of Krishna. They'll do anything to keep the company of Krishna. That is the most important thing for them. It's not about the throne. They are least bothered about the throne, okay? They have clear idea about what is binding and what is liberating. That's more of goodness, okay? So there can be a lot of examples and a lot of details for it. In simple words, following the instructions of the spiritual master is the perfect thing. That's it. Whatever it is. And Prabhupada has given a lot of instructions, okay? It's given instructions about how we should do Krishna consciousness and how we should not be. He has written volumes of books over it, okay? And these instructions boil down to very simple things. It's actually very easy to summarize them. Just have to accept the principle. That's it. You have to understand the principles and accept the principles, because accepting whatever the bona fide spiritual master says is mode of goodness, okay? Everything else, a little bit of confusion whether I'm doing right or wrong. People are criticizing me. Maybe I'm wrong. That's mode of passion. And if I take the opposite direction of what Prabhupada is saying, it's clearly in the mode of ignorance, okay? That's it. Simple. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.